Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Marvel Legends series Tri-Sentinel Build-A-Figure Waves House of X Marvel Girl. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, we've got Build-A-Figure, Marvel's Tri-Sentinel, a hook here for peg hooks, assortment numbers in case you need those. 4 and up. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there on the top flap here. An X. Marvel Legends series, nice big window showcasing the figure and her accessories. X-Men, and then some, I guess it's Krakoan. Maybe it says Marvel Girl. I'm not sure. Hasbro print on the bottom. Small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, we've got some nice artwork of Marvel Girl, House of X, Marvel Girl at the bottom there. And then I can't seem to hold on to this thing, can I? And then, you know, artwork over here, House of X, Marvel Girl. Then on the back, there we have that Krakoan writing again, which I'm assuming says Marvel Girl. Marvel Legends series, Marvel Girl. There's a bigger shot of that artwork from the side panels. And it says here, Marvel Girl leads her fellow mutants to the island sanctuary of Krakoa in a bid to declare sovereignty from humankind. And then here it is again in some other languages. Marvel's Tri-Sentinel Build-A-Figure. Here's the cross sale. Here's the completed Build-A-Figure, and it tells you which figures, according to the numbers, come with which parts. And then we have a Wolverine, Charles Xavier, Omega Sentinel, this figure, Marvel Girl, Moira MacTaggert, Magneto, and Cyclops. Each sold separately, subject to availability. There's, again, in some other languages. Attention! Especially don't stick things in your French pie hole. Warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any other language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Marvel print, Hasbro print, small fine legalese, made in China print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and her accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers. And we'll start out with a look at the extra hands, and they're like the magic casting telekinesis hands, and they do, I mean, they're nice molded detail on them, in and out hinges, and you know, nothing to write home about, I suppose. So there's the other one. Then we have this Krakoan plant, I guess is what it is. And I haven't read this storyline, so I don't really know exactly what the significance of this piece is. But it's got a nice little paint app on here. This part's molded in this swirly twirly silver plastic. This seems to be a separate piece glued into here. And then this might be a separate piece glued into here. And this might be a separate piece glued into there. So lots of separate pieces going on here. And yeah, that's separate because this rotates around. And I really wish it kind of had a flat bottom so it would sit, but you know, X-Men don't do anything the easy way. So interesting piece, even if the lore of it is lost on me. Here we have the Tri-Sentinel's leg, and it's got some nice molded details and a few nice little paint apps here. And I did not finish this Build-A-Figure piece, or this Build-A-Figure. So the only other figure I got out of this wave, I believe, was Moira MacTaggert. So I'll have her piece of the Tri-Sentinel, and that'll be it, besides this one. So just not one I'd cared to complete. So here we have Marvel Girl, and I bought it because it's Marvel Girl. Now, not necessarily because it's this Krakoan version of it, but I didn't have a, you know, classic Marvel Girl in this uniform, at least. So there's hope that there may be an X-Men 97 one coming. We'll have to see. But overall, I have to say it's a nice looking figure. I would have liked some highlights, you know, just a little bit of dry brushing in the hair would have been a nice touch. The eyes look pretty good. The mask, of course, is just glued on there, which isn't a big deal. Now there's something going on here in the chest. I'm not exactly sure why it looks like that. It may have been where this part was touching the plastic of the packaging or something. I don't know, but the placement of it seems rather odd, I guess. But we've got, I'm guessing this is the paint app for the chest part, and it's got some nice wrinkles molded into the uniform, and then nice on the gauntlets here, and then of course X-Men, so she's got to have an X on her belt, and then a little bit of slop at the belt loops, it looks like. And excuse me, this piece is just an overlay, and it does have a split right here, however not on this side, so it does hinder articulation somewhat. And then the boot tops here are a paint app. Let's take a look at her articulation real quick. Oh, and you can see her ear sticking out there, so I didn't notice that before. So because of the hair, she can't really look up, she can't really look down, she doesn't have any chicken neck. She does have some waggle, and it is on a ball and hinge system. Let's see. The hair does get in the way and hinder it up some, but she can do the full exorcist. And that really didn't do anything for the other modes of movement. So here at the shoulder, she can raise her arm up a little better than 90 degrees, it looks like to me. 360 degrees of rotation, single hinge and swivel at the elbow, 360 degrees of rotation, and not quite a 90 degree bend there at the elbow. Rotation at the wrist, 360 degrees, and in and out hinge there and on the other side as well. Now, she doesn't have a cut here where the chest and the abdomen meets, but rather at the waist, and it's not a straight cut, it's a curved cut. So she gets some hula going on there, and she does get 360 degrees of rotation. She can lean back that far, she can lean forward that far, and side to side. At the hips, this side is fully hindered by the overlay, and I can get the leg out about that far. So she gives you that much of the splits, which isn't a lot. There is a cut at the upper thigh, gives you 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinned knee, and it does give you that much bend. Then at the ankles, tilts down that far, so really good. Tilts up that far, so not bad. And forward facing pin for rocker. And there you have it, my friends. There's a look at the figure and her accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Marvel Legends series Tri-Sentinel Build-A-Figure waves, Marvel Girl, with the Marvel Legends series Deluxe Jean Grey and Phoenix Force 2-packs Phoenix, the Marvel Legends series X-Men Retro Carded Dark Phoenix, and the Marvel Legends series X-Men 97 Jean Grey. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Marvel Legends series Tri-Sentinel Build-A-Figure Waves Marvel Girl, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends series Tri-Sentinel Build-A-Figure Waves Krakoan wave of Marvel Girl, I have to say this figure is mediocre at best. Now, if you're just putting in a very static vanilla pose, it's probably okay. But if you're wanting to get any posability at all out of the legs, as far as a stance or anything like that, you are SOL, my friends. Because there is zero, maybe 0.2% range of motion in those hips that you can actually use, as far as posing and things go. The skirt overlay just destroys any of the hip leg movements going on, and it's sad. If they'd just give it a little more split and put a little bit more, put a split on the other side to equal the first one, it probably would have solved the problem. But I understand maybe they were trying to go the aesthetic that, her uniform isn't like that. So I don't know. It doesn't work. And it's not very well, thought out. I like when they have waist articulation, but I really wish this figure had also had the upper torso articulation where the chest and the abdomen meet, and maybe that would have made this more than mediocre at best. And I hope they do another version of this version of Jean Grey, because this one is just it doesn't do it. It's not. This never should have been released, Hasbro. And I know it's an older figure, but I ain't making no excuses for this thing. This is just not. It's not good. I mean, it looks okay. It's not the greatest, but they've done better Jean Greys than this one, and I'm really sorry to say that, because this is one of her quintessential looks. Of course, a lot of people think of this one because of the the Phoenix Saga and Dark Phoenix Saga, also not so much in the Dark Phoenix till the end, at least. And then, but we did, at least got a glimpse of it in the last episode of X-Men 97, or maybe it was the last 2 episodes of season 1 of X-Men 97. And so there's hope that maybe they'll do this figure again, but give us an X-Men 97 version of it. And that may, do it for me, as long as they do it better than this one. It's going to have to be better than this one. Don't use this one as a model, Hasbro, because it's like I said, mediocre at best. And so, and this isn't best. So, but anyway, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I kind of enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.